don't know with you, but for me, and given my age, I wasn't expecting anymore to still discover a lot of things about myself. The year 2020 also unexpectedly released a lot of life's ups and downs. But looking back to the year that was, I was glad to be given the chance to experience that kind of personal space and self-evaluation that I never knew I needed, most especially the healing that my health badly demanded. I actually did record a vlog about my 2020 highlights, and even before recording, I was already anticipating a lot of negative things to share. But I was surprised. As I was looking back generally, there were a lot of specific things that I was grateful for, even the pain the year brought me. I fully admit that suppressing all those emotions, all those years, clearly was a bad thing and had a bad impact on me. But because I was given those months of processing them and trying to understand and feel them was necessary at all, I was mostly grateful for the gift of rest. I never knew I needed one. However, when my body was producing a lot of physical manifestations, it was clearly a wake-up call for me. I cannot be fully myself and live out my full potential and purpose if I will not be taking good care of my physical health. This reflection was really a part of my annual preparation for the upcoming year. Having one is definitely recommended if you are to move on to the next season. As I was doing my personal quiet time, I looked back on all the things that happened in the last year. I realized I did let go of a lot of things, from my unused and cluttered room items, from people in my life, from things that I do or prioritize, and even from old patterns, habits, and mindsets. I never saw it as something negative, but as something that is necessary for my personal growth. It is not always the case that we always receive, accept, and hoard things. It is also important that we let go or throw away some things that do not have any significance to our lives anymore. We grow, and the people and the things that we once had also needed to move on to other things. For it says in the Bible, "Throw off your old sinful nature and your former ways of life." Ephesians 4 verse 22. A management statement I once read said, "Don't tell people what new thing you're doing. Tell me what you've stopped doing." And this statement created a spark in me. I totally agree with this statement. We'd always reach our maximum limit, and it is imperative that we let go of the old things to make way for new things. This is applicable to a lot of areas in our lives. I learned that in life, we cannot just keep adding things without removing another. A known strategy of the enemy is to get us busy doing the unimportant things that would eventually lead us not having the time for the important things. If Satan cannot get us to be bad, he will find a way to make us busy. If we want to create or do something new, we must look for a thing to remove in our lives, or we end up with a lot of things on our plate. If we are going to burn the candle at both ends, it will only burn us out. It may look bright at first, but it will definitely burn us. I wanted to talk about this prior to doing my vision planning for the year, because it would be assistive that we identify the things that we need to leave in 2020 and not bring them with us to 2021. We need to ask ourselves if these things are worth it. Will it be worth our time, our energy, our attention, our efforts, and even money? These also needs preparation and prayer. We must not automatically change things without considering the consequences. We need to see the things that we are removing from our lives if our lives will be manageable without them. We need to pause, slow down, and pray. We need to contemplate before committing. We need to purposefully consider a lot of things before deciding. We must reflect before we select. I actually made a list that I asked myself upon reflecting, and feel free to ask the same questions to yourselves. First, what are the top 5 things that I'm most thankful for the past year? What self-discoveries were most beneficial for my personal growth? What are the top 3 breakthroughs I experienced the entire year? What are the top 3 challenging things or obstacles I experienced the past year? What are 3 things that I consider to be time wasters for the past year? What are the top 5 things I learned in the past year? What was the best or the worst decision I made last year? What is one word I can use to describe the entire year? Who impacted me most the entire year? And lastly, what Bible scripture best shaped my entire year? I recommend you start reflecting as well. Set aside time and be away from all distractions. Spend time with God and be still. It is only when we are quiet before God that discoveries are being made and answers are being heard. We must have this desire to grow. And in order to do so, we have to make intentional choices. We must be willing to undergo change. This change means letting go of old things and willingly receive new things. For it says in the Bible, "Forget the former things. Do not dwell on the past." Isaiah 43 verse 18. And lastly, from Proverbs 4 verse 25, "Let your eyes look straight ahead. Fix your gaze directly before you." So that's it for this vlog. I hope you learned something, and I really would recommend you do your reflection of the year as well. So thank you for watching. See you in the next vlog. Bye!